let's move on now then to our next member of the Mary's Meals family, one of my favourite people actually in the Mary's Meals family, and that's Panji Kajani, who is our country director in Zambia. Hello, Panji.
Hi, Daniel.
How are you, my friend?
Very well. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. It wouldn't be right if I didn't address you in Chichewa. So, Muli Bwanji. Good to see you as always. Panji, I was just saying.
You should have replied back, Ndiribuino.
My Chichewa is not up to scratch, and you know that.
You are trying.
I'm learning.
Good.
Panji, you obviously have worked for Mary's Meals for a long time, and though you're our country director in Zambia, you're not from Zambia. Could you tell those who are watching where it is you do come from and what your different roles have been with Mary's Meals?
I am Malawian, which is a neighboring country to Zambia, just east of Zambia.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you previously worked for Mary's Meals in Malawi.
That's where I started my work with Mary's Meals. Joined in 2011. So that makes me one of the oldest or longest serving members of Mary's Meals with 9 years. And I moved to Zambia in 2014.
Yeah. And you being the head of programs in our Malawi program, obviously Malawi is the country in which Mary's Meals has its largest program, over 1 million children being fed there every day. So you were the perfect person to then move next door to Zambia and be the pioneer. Pioneer Mary's Meals into one of Malawi's neighbours. So you moved there in 2014. Could you just tell us a little bit how the program has grown since then? How many children are we feeding now in Zambia?
Yeah, true. By the grace of God, I was one of the pioneers starting the program in Zambia in 2014, precisely in October 2014. And the Zambia program, I think, is one of the fastest growing program countries in Mary's Meals. Starting in 2014 with about 25 schools and reaching out to just over 18,000 children. We are currently in 366 schools and reaching out to over 194,000 children.
Wow.
That's our short history, but an illustrious one.
Yes, 194,000 children. And it's really a testament to your leadership, Panji, and to your amazing, vibrant team in Zambia, all over Zambia, and in the head office in Chipata. I've obviously visited you there and know firsthand how amazing the team is. And obviously, it's not just the team in Zambia. We work so closely with local volunteers and the community, of course.
Yeah, I would want us to give the credit to all those co-workers, not just me and the team. There are a lot of volunteers at community level, the teachers in the schools, and of course, the co-workers based in the UK, Spain, the US, all those colleagues that help us to fundraise to feed the children. So those deserve the credit much more than me and my team.
It's a huge team effort, as you say. And just in terms of the current situation, Panji, this COVID-19 pandemic we're all living through, these strange times. Obviously, the continent of Africa, in terms of timings, is a bit behind other parts of the world where the pandemic raged a bit sooner. What's been the impact in Zambia in general as a country, and more specifically, what's been the impact on the Mary's Meals program there?
Yeah, as you expect, a pandemic of this size will have impacts from all types of livelihoods. It's a multifaceted pandemic with a multifaceted type of impact. But if we talk about the work of Mary's Meals, and we are basically talking about household livelihoods. Yes. So what we have seen is that the pandemic has reduced the economic space for the already poor households, restricting their access to cash, restricting their access to activities that will bring the much needed cash home. So what that means is that the cash available for food, the cash available for the basic needs at household level is not there, or there's little of it. And it would therefore translate into household food insecurity, which makes the Mary's meals more relevant at this point in time. So in summary, that is what I would say the impact of COVID-19 pandemic is, which makes the Mary's meals more relevant than ever.
Absolutely. And how many cases is Zambia as a country dealing with?
As of today, we have registered just over 11,000 cases. And of those 11,000, we have over 10,000 that have recovered. But unfortunately, we have lost over 280 Zambians to COVID.
Yeah, no, that's awful. It's anybody lost to this terrible disease is a tragedy. Just in terms of the future, Panji, what's the situation in Zambia in terms of schools reopening? Because obviously we've been providing meals to children at home, although I think maybe we've been able in some places to start providing it back in school again. Could you just let us know what the kind of current situation there is and when you expect schools to start reopening?
Yeah, as you are aware, we had a forced closure of schools on the 20th of March, and we had to quickly adapt our way of doing things, realizing that there would still be some learning at home, and that learning would still require energy in children. We decided that we would give out take-home rations through parents. So the parents have been coming to the schools to collect the rations on behalf of the kids. But then we had again to modify that, create a crossbreed of a program, because the government directed a partial opening of schools where examination classes now are in class, and those children have to be fed in the school so that they can participate in the process of teaching and learning properly. So that is the situation as it now. Of course, schools are on recess. They'll be opening soon in the second week of September. And we all are hopeful that the situation will improve in these few days, and then schools can fully go back to normal, and we can resume the program as we know it of feeding a child in their place of education.
Yeah, and please God, that will be the case, Panji. We'll all be praying and hoping for that from here too. And obviously, in with Mary's Meals, we're wanting to do two things broadly. We're wanting to keep the promise to the children who we already feed, but we're in the business of expanding to reach more. And so many of the people who are watching us tonight will be people who give what they can to help Mary's Meals to reach out to more and more hungry children. But obviously COVID-19 has been problematic for our planning this year, as it has been for many organizations. Is it going to be possible, Panji, for us to expand further to reach more children in addition to the 194,000 you mentioned this year?
Yes, by the grace of God, we have gotten the news of assurance that we have some resources to reach more children. And we are at the moment organizing ourselves to ensure that between now and November, we are able to expand to a further 115 schools, which will take us up to 481 schools, and we will add on just over 51,000 children, which will take us to just over 245,000 children. So this is very exciting news that within the context of the challenges of COVID-19, our supporters haven't tired to work hard to mobilize resources and making it possible for us to reach the next child. So yes, we will expand.
Thanks be to God for that. And as you say, the generosity goes on, which makes that possible. Just a final thing, Panji, for those who are watching, have you got a particular message to them beyond anything we've said so far?
Yes. First of all, I should say I'm grateful to the selflessness of all the co-workers all over the world. Secondly, I want to remind them that the work that we do is a gift from God. And in Mary's Mills, we believe in good stewardship. And I want to extend this value of good stewardship to mean that we are stewards of those that are in less fortunate circumstances than we are. And I would encourage our co-workers, wherever they are, to keep planting the seed, as Magnus would say. Keep planting the seed so that that seed grows to a fruit that will allow us to keep the promise to the child we have now, and of course, feed the next child tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That is what I would say.
Here, here, Panji. Thanks so much for those beautiful words. We'll keep planting seeds here, you keep planting seeds there, and this miracle will go on. Thank you so much, and give our best to your amazing team in Zambia.
I will. Thank you, Daniel, for having me in the family today.
Cheers. Cheers, Panji. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. He's an amazing man, a great man, Panji. Great to talk to him. Hope you found that inspiring. And I'm just delighted that the technology worked from here in Glasgow all the way to Chipata in Zambia.